My people, what up, though? We back with another episode of All Black Men Need Therapy. My name is Chief.
And I'm Bell.
My name is Prentice.
And we about to get this show rolling. Fellas, I miss you guys and I love you guys. I haven't seen you. I feel like it's been too long. I say this shit every episode, but whatever. It's been like 2 weeks.
You said that like,
what's up?
I don't know, bro. You said that like we were kids.
So I can't miss, I can't miss and love my homies.
I love you guys.
I can't miss and love my homies. See, this is the problem. This is the problem with black men, yo. I can't even like.
No, you're not hearing me. But you said it like I'm fucking five.
It don't matter how I said it, bro. I said it and you didn't reply.
But it does.
You fucking swallow your butt.
It absolutely matters how you say it. If I don't like you talking to me like I'm 6, nigga, then I need you to rephrase it.
See, this is the problem with black men.
Impact over intent. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh. Anyways, yes.
It just better how the fuck you say
it. It's been a while since we got here. It's
been a long time. I shouldn't have left you.
Word.
Without a dope beat. Step 2.
Step 2. Anyways, yeah, I got you. We was all rocking to it. Yo, P, it's been a minute, yo. Check in. How you been? How you feeling? How you live? How the babies and all that?
I'm gonna keep real. Everybody's good. Check it out. This is my motherfucking problem right now. Like,
it's about to be the whole episode. Go ahead.
Nah, it's not a problem. I knew y'all niggas was gonna say that. I keep having these huge tsunami waves of emotion every time I think about this wedding, and it makes me emotional to a point where I try not to think about it, because every time I think about it, I get emotional and it won't stop. And it's uncomfortable as fuck. And we're not gonna make this episode, but that's how I'm doing.
Let's talk about that though. I want to talk about that.
I'm curious too.
What makes you emotional about it? Where do you like talk to me? What emotion?
So my biggest fear with this whole shit, man, my biggest fear with this whole wedding is not being able to handle the overwhelming amount of joy I'm gonna have when I see her. And I'm not ready to experience this in front of people. I don't even feel ready for the experience. I know I'm deserving. This has nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing to do with me blocking my blessings. I just know how great I feel now and how these waves of emotion hit me. So I can only imagine how that shit gonna hit me, you know what I'm saying, when I see her. And so I think that magnifies the thought of this day for me. You know what I'm saying? So it creates a lot of nerves, man. Just specifically about allowing myself to fold and receive that moment.
It's probably a couple of things, Prentice. It's everything you said. In addition, the fear of the unknown and the fear of unknown and having to experience it in real time while everybody's watching. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's
exactly what it is.
That's real. That's real. The only advice I can give you, bro, is
you know,
I'm and again not proud of it, but I am and more closed off emotionally than you two. So like if you look at my wedding pictures or my wedding video, I'm at the altar looking angry. You know what I'm saying? I'm not angry. I'm just like trying to avoid exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Hard.
Yeah, like I was trying to
regret that.
I don't regret it. No, I wish I was more relaxed up there and not so tense. You know, like I'm tense, like trying to again avoid the emotional breakdown, because I knew like once I started, because I don't cry often, and again, not bragging, I don't cry often, so I knew once I started crying, it wasn't gonna stop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was just like I'm up there looking like almost like I wish a motherfucker
grinding his teeth.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but and I couldn't look at Lorraine, like I couldn't look at Lo during. I couldn't look at her, because if I looked at her, I felt like I was going to break down. You know what I'm saying?
She was low key wanting him to break down, and was actually like not barking, but she was like not upset. I don't know. She was like, I can't believe you cried when this nigga Chief gave the best man speech, but you didn't cry during my whatchamacallit. And I was like, ugh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's the thing, and I kept crying all night after that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Open up the floodgate. So
yeah, that's exactly what happened. So that's why that's why I try to avoid it. But if I did it more, it wouldn't.
Wedding was dope, by the way, Bell. Wedding was fire. We had a great time.
You know, we just celebrated 4 years last weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It was dope.
Right.
So P, is it gonna make it worse if your wedding officiant is crying?
Nigga, you gonna be right next to me, bud. Yeah, it's gonna make it worse. What you talking about, bud? Yeah, don't do that.
What? Don't do that.
Like,
where's your professionalism?
Right? Yeah. I keep thinking about this part too, but like I'm really gonna probably turn and look at you like, but I need you to help me get this shit together again. I can't stop motherfucking crying. And I just don't want that publicly. It's not even on no macho stuff, but it's like I'm not ready for this joy, bro. You know what I mean? And it sounds crazy.
Yeah, we talked about celebrating the moments, man. You gotta embrace that and fall in, cuz.
Nigga, this is that times 1,000, nigga. Fuck that shit.
That's the
Fuck
point.
it. I know what I said. It don't apply right now. It's too hard.
Like the main one preaching it. You know what I'm saying? Preaching, embracing this level up and all that, and celebrating yourself. And
I feel, but I love what he said though. I love how he started it. He started by saying I'm not deserving. I know I'm deserving. I know I'm worthy. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the unknown, the fear of the unknown. So I get it, bro. I get it.
The magnitude of it, the physical feeling it's going to give me.
What I
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, 100%. What I would suggest is do your best, like, because what's going to happen is you're going to be in the room getting dressed with the guys, and you know what I'm saying, maybe drinking, maybe not. What I would suggest is do your best to not come in on 12. You know what I'm saying? Because then you're going to get another wave of emotions, and that could potentially be debilitating. You know what I'm saying? So if you just come in like relaxed, whatever relaxed is for you, right? You come in relaxed.
Like Bell pregame, you better put some slow jams on.
Exactly. Get some Isley Brothers.
Mellow yourself out instead of
Isley Brothers might have you crying before you even get down there. So yeah. Some Pete Rock and CL Smooth or something, man. I don't know.
Gonna be on the balcony talking about smoking up. Oh shit.
With 2 joints.
Word.
Yeah, but it's crazy because I don't it's like I never pictured myself feeling like this, being in this predicament, and this isn't necessarily conversations that are like common with niggas, you know what I'm saying? But it's such a big deal to me that I can't not talk about it.
Chief, you about to be the odd man out, bro.
I know. I'm always the odd man out though.
We gotta get a new podcast host. This is gonna be all black men need therapy with wives.
Chief.
Yeah, when I get one, we're gonna have the wives on too. We'll do it that way. Anyways, Bellhead, check in, yo.
So today,
wait, Pete, what you say, yo?
What?
I think Prentice said something. That's why God froze him just now. He was talking slick. I thought he said something.
So I'm good, man. A lot going on at the crib, man. I got, so like I told you, I bought a house. Doing some renovations right now before we move in. We coming up on the clock though. I gotta be out of my condo by the 30th, before the 30th, because I'm going out of town before then. So anyway, so my uncle came through, my father up there. They banging out, man. But we still up against the clock. You know what I'm saying? They banging out the majority of the construction will be done. They doing their thing. Like my uncle, shout out to Uncle Lem. Yo, I will give y'all his information, but he don't want no more business. He got more than he can handle. My uncle is 67, 66, 67. He don't look that old, but that's his age. The hardest working dude in the family, yo. Like, don't nobody outwork this dude. Dude had his own company for 30 years, man. I went over there to drop some stuff off this evening at like 10 after 7. My man's still hanging up studs with a nail gun going. You know what I'm saying? They started working at 6 this morning. You know what I mean? But it's coming along. It's coming along. It's gonna look nice, but we might have to live through the construction piece a little bit towards the end of the construction. But you know, it's just a lot. It's um supply chain challenges with getting supplies and stuff like that, and everything is more expensive, man. I sold the house in 2021, and everything that I bought, I'm basically buying again, and it's at least 30% higher than it was
Damn.
back then. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like the flooring, the flooring I got was like $50 a box. That shit's $65 a box right now. Like,
Inflation is real.
and that shit adds up. You know what I'm saying? You ain't buying one box. You know what I'm saying? You're buying a pallet.
Yeah, you might have
That's
15
yeah.
bucks.
Now you buying 40. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit adds up. So anyway, I spent way too much time over there today. I came home. I was like, yo, I'm renovationed out. Like I had no intention to be over there as long as I was today. But again, that's where I'm at. I'm good. I know it's first world problems, but that's kind of what's on my mind.
That's what's up. As far as me, man, everything's good. My boys are in Florida with their moms for the week or so,
Oh, that's
hanging
dope.
out,
They're
enjoying
going
the
to
sun.
Disney?
Yeah. She got a little crib out there, the summer joint or whatever. My big girl's rocking out in softball, doing what she do. I've been moving and shaking with this poetry thing. Like, shout out to P too. We didn't even talk about that. P, my man P, doing some big things with some poetry. Nigga did poetry in the pool in a full suit the other day.
Yo, you know what I equated that to, Prentice? I know you're a West Coast dude, but so I'm a huge Cameron fan, right? And he had this video, a song called "I Used to Get It in Ohio," and in that video, he had the full-length mink on, dragging in the snow. It was just a flex. It's just a flex.
Yeah.
Like to me, that was some of the hardest shit I had ever seen at that point. So my point is, you being in that pool with that suit that's what it brought me to. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, that's a flex. Like I'm in the pool with a suit on. What's up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I thought that was dope.
That's exactly how it felt, nigga. In a mansion. Shout out to Aaron Walton, not you seen. In a mansion in the middle of LA. Like
Hard.
shooting a commercial, like in real life. That
That's
was
hard.
crazy. Doing my work. That's crazy. But it was dope.
I work.
That's definitely dope. But shout out to you, P. But yeah, so on the poetry front, things have been moving and shaking, man. I made some good connects. Got a couple, couple more opportunities, which is cool because you go from one gig and then like one gig gets you another gig, gets you two more gigs. You know what I'm saying? So it's been really moving and it's been well. I'm not really in the in the public eye, but I'm out here on the low getting these checks. You know what I'm saying? Like these checks on the low. So that's cool. But I had an emotion. I broke down. I cried the other day, fellas. So last Monday? The 23rd was the Monday. So I had a gig in Jersey, and I'm like, MJ, you want to come with me to Jersey? We, get you $1,000 to come perform with me. She's like, nah, Dad, I want to go to school. So I'm like, all right. She go to school, I do my thing. So Tuesday, that's when that school shooting happened in Texas, right? Wednesday, I could leave work, come pick her up and bring her to school. She's like, Daddy, I don't want to go to school today. And I'm like, why? Oblivious to what, I'm like, why? I'm like, no, you be all right. So we get there. And then she said this like as we're pulling up to the school. I'm like, all right, babe, have a good day. Do a little handshake. She go out to the car, do her thing. So then I drive to school and I get to my office and maybe like sitting there for like 20 minutes. Like, what the hell? Like, Shorty didn't want to get $1,000 on Monday because she wanted to go to school. And all of a sudden today, she don't want to go to school. Something ain't right. And then it hit me like, oh shit. Shorty is like afraid. Like she was, afraid to go to school based on what happened. So it hit me. And then I pulled up at her school at lunchtime just to kind of check in on her, make sure she was good. And just happenstance, I'm in the office and she happens to come to the office. She's like the school vice president. So she was bringing some money in for the fundraiser. She's like, Dad, I'm like, what's up, big girl? So it was cool how it happened. And I just came to check on you, blah, 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 blah. And then we have a little session. She's good, back to her normal routine, whatever. So I walk out. And when I walk out, I flip my phone up and I see on Instagram, they showed us maybe like a 16 board thing of all the kids who passed away or who were murdered. And one of the little girls looked like a girl on her softball team. And I don't know why that shit like punching my gut. I sat in front of her school, like crying for like 10 minutes, just it just hit me like, because that's obviously a parent's worst fucking nightmare. You know what I'm saying? So that shit really, really like walked up on me. And afterwards, you know, we had a conversation with my baby about, you know, the crazy people in the world and to make sure, you know, this thing she should do in if ever. But to be able to have those conversations, man. I know we haven't really talked about it much on the podcast. Maybe we can do one about it. But outside of that little breakdown, everything's been good, man. But that, you know, rest in peace to those laws. And it's a wild world out here, B.
Yeah, I purposely, man, have not watched anything on that. Nothing. Like, and even that picture you talking about of the kids, anytime I see it on Instagram, I just scroll past it. Like I can't bring myself to do it, y'all. It's nothing more gut-wrenching for me than seeing innocent Black and brown people murdered. You know, like I mean, anybody, right? But it hits different, you know what I'm saying, when they look like you. So
Yo,
and the babies.
yeah.
you ever feel guilty about that, Bill?
About that sentiment?
No, about your process, your choice not to.
No, I think the grief of it brings me to that place. Like I don't feel guilty. You saying do I feel guilty for not like watching or understanding what's going on? Nah, man.
No.
I that's not gonna be good for my mental space.
Mm,
You know what
I'm
I'm saying?
I'm the same
So
way.
like,
I just asked because I know I went through like a space of like lightweight guilt. You know what I mean? Like I stopped when quarantine hit and we were getting murdered, and that's all you were seeing. I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't
Yeah.
write about it no more. I couldn't do
Yeah.
none of that shit. And I was dead ass serious, and I'm not gonna look at them anymore. And I haven't in like 2.5
Mm.
years. But I did also feel like a part of me was like, damn, man, these are my brothers who are dying. You know, I can't even look at it. But then I thought to myself, it's way more important what I'm feeding myself deliberately. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't want to feed myself
so
some type
is
of
this the
devil.
method of like protecting our peace, like not
Yeah,
engaging
that's
in just
exactly
kind
what
of
it
like,
is.
yeah, for sure.
Yo, the
That's
psychological
why.
yeah, the psychological component, in my opinion, is immeasurable. You know what I'm saying? Like the psychological effects that it has on us. Like I don't feel like it can be measured. You know, like think about it, bro. Like there's shit that you do that you learn from our parents, that they learn from their parents, that they learn from their parents. Right? That's like inherited learned behavior that you do to this day. Right? You may not even know the origins of where it came from. Right? So you got that going on, right? And the further you go back, the closer it's connected to, forget slave times, the 60s, right? The 50s, right? Where we didn't have rights. So you got people moving a certain way, and those behaviors carry down to their kids to a certain degree, right? What is the after effect of, I'll tell you a story, right? I was in Baltimore a couple weeks ago. Well, I was shadowing one of my peers, and just learning some stuff that I wasn't too strong on. And really good dude, white dude, really good dude. You know, he grew up in Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? So he's no stranger to race relations and things like that. But we were just talking, and he's like, George Floyd came up and all of that, and he was just talking, and he's like, it's like, Bell, for all the black friends I have in this company, no one prior to George Floyd has ever talked to me about being black, like in America. And then I was explaining to him, like, that's not our responsibility. One, two, it's like that's you don't speak about that stuff in corporate America, right? And then we were just talking, shooting the shit, and he's just like, I can't imagine. I'm like, well, I'll just give you perspective. I said when Philando Castillo was killed, um, I said I doubled my life insurance policy that week, and it was a conscious thing. Like it wasn't like, let me do this just in case. I did it because I'm like, yo, I'm probably gonna die by the hands of one of these police. Like that was, and nobody can convince me otherwise. So I'm like, if that's gonna be the case, if that's gonna be my faith, then let me make sure my family's straight. And I never took it off. I don't need that much insurance. Right. But I'm like, but that's the thing. It's like the psychological component. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, I can't keep watching that shit. Like, I can't.
You got life insurance?
Huh?
Prentice?
Oh.
Prentice, you got life insurance?
A little bit.
Yeah. So that's the thing, man. It's like the psychological toll that stuff takes on me, man. I can't do it. It's just not healthy for me, you know. And obviously, you know, one could say, you know, it's different, man, from an advocacy standpoint. You know, it's like, and this is my opinion, you know, like white people, they are advocates for us. Obviously, not all of them, but we do have them, and I appreciate that. And my advocacy work is going to come in a different form because I'm actually the like, I'm part of the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not outside looking in. You know, like I'm written into the script. So it just hits different for me. You know what I'm saying? It's not a spectator sport for me. Right? This is real shit. So I can't watch none of that shit. Like, I'm getting emotional thinking about it. You know, and we ain't even pull up no pictures. So I don't feel guilty because I know it's not healthy. It's obviously wrong. But then the fact that to bring light to it, the only way to bring light to it is to plaster it everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And that shit, man, that shit ain't good. Like, you got Mia not wanting to go to school, right? Them kids look like her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit's crazy.
That's what fucked me up.
Yeah.
That's what messed me up.
That shit's crazy. I can't do it, bro. That's why we haven't talked about it, ladies and gentlemen, just so y'all know.
Yeah, real shit.
Yeah, like, I can't, man. I can't talk about it. It's not like it doesn't affect us. You know, I just can't. That shit. And then I heard about the mom who
That went up in the ran up in the joint. Yeah.
Yo, man.
You wouldn't be able to stop me, bro. You would have you would have to take me out. Like, there's no way you can stop me from going to get my baby. There's no way.
Yeah, man, that shit. But that's what I'm saying. And then after hearing about that, this shit took me down the deep. That's why, and I didn't watch it.
It's a rabbit hole.
Like, I didn't watch it. Like, I went from hearing about what happened, and then for some reason my mind went to Kobe and Gigi. You know what I'm saying? And obviously that wasn't like an assassination or anything like that, but it's like just the thought of a parent trying to be there for your child and you can't. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing you could do about it. Like, that's the piece. Like, I think I told the podcast months ago. I can't watch kids being harmed anymore ever since I had my son. Like, I can't. Like, on a movie and in a fictional setting, I can't do it. Like, I'll turn the channel. Like, I can't do it. And I think, you know, and I know I'm going off on a tangent, I'm gonna stop, but I think, man, self-awareness for Black men is paramount. You know, like, we have to know our triggers, man. We have to know our triggers. We have to know what we can and what we can't tolerate, and not what we can endure, because that's two different things.
Right. For sure.
You know what I'm saying? We can endure a lot, man, unfortunately. It's just like what can't be tolerated, right? And not tolerated on the disrespectful stuff, but tolerated like, this is not healthy. You can't tolerate this behavior because it's not healthy for you. You know, so creating boundaries, and sometimes those boundaries aren't with people, it's with yourself. You know, and what you allow yourself to take in and take on. So I know we just went off on a tangent. This is not even remotely close to what we want to talk about.
Right. But those boundaries that you talk about, Beryl, like, we should definitely have a conversation. We talked about boundaries before, though, but like,
you know, we just had a moment on our group chat with me, you, and Oz.
What do you mean?
So my man was in a car accident before, and
right.
a couple car accidents, and there was this meme or video. It was hilarious for me, but I've been in one car accident in my life, and he's been in like several. So we had sent it to him, and then
you had sent it to him. Don't try to put me in, try to implicate me in this.
This is the shit I be talking about right here. So I sent the video. Chief was the first one to laugh, right? The first one to laugh. Oz responds and basically was like, yo, that was the traumatic experience. You know what I'm saying? And basically it was like, this isn't funny to me type situation. And then here go Chief. Well, Bell sent it. I was, I wasn't. My motherfucker, he was the first one to respond and laugh. Like,
because as soon as he said that, I'm like, damn, that made sense. Because like homie like flipped over several times in my truck. You know what I'm saying? And like he's like, nigga, that like
you was like, ha 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 ha.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway,
because yo, this nigga stay trying to flip the shit on me. Like,
no.
Crazy.
My whole thing is this, bro. It's like I said in the text, like I'm not about to be on the skinny branch by myself. Yeah, I sent the video. I thought it was funny. You clearly thought it was funny. As soon as this motherfucker say something, now it's not funny no more. All of a sudden,
I didn't say it wasn't funny. I said I got a good laugh out of it.
No,
Mel sent the shit. If anybody gonna get the burden of it, it's gonna be you.
Nah, you try to deflect. Like, nah, man, I don't even know what type of person would say some shit like that to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro, we was in this together. But anyway, my point is, it was a healthy conversation. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, all right, you right. My bad. I didn't take that into consideration. My bad. You know what I'm saying? Like I messed up. And then he later checked himself. He was like, yo, he either sent us a voice. He sent us a voice on. He's like, yo, I reread these text messages and they came across like way more emotional than I am. So I just needed y'all to know that whatever, like we good. And I'm like, nah, we good. But the point is, I had to get clarity, right? I sent that video, didn't know he was going to be triggered by the video. He gave me some boundaries around what we can and can't talk about as it pertains to his traumatic experience. And I just got clarity. I'm like, all right, boom. So just so you know, I'm still going to do this, right? Like, I don't know how to stop that. So you're going to have to deal with that. He's like, no, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. So we created boundaries. Like, all right, boom. Now we know this isn't healthy for him, right? So we can do our part. But I don't know that we do that enough with our relationships. Like Chief, we were just talking today, right? About your officiate. Is it called officiating? Sound like a referee. Anyway, Chief does weddings, as Prentice, you obviously know, and a lot of our listeners know. And he was just talking about how he's popping now and he's getting more business and all this and that, the third, and how he has to change up some of his business practices, and he started by saying, yeah, but I like to do it like that to give people a break and this, that, and the third, yada, yada, yada. And what he was saying wasn't wrong, but what I explained to him, I was like, it's something about our people that we look out for everybody before we look out for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? In the scenario that he gave, he was going to be the only one left holding the bag if it didn't go the way he wanted it to go, right? But he's the commodity, right? He's the one that's being paid for. It's like, no, your time is important, your preparation is important. So if this doesn't go according to plan, you should at least be compensated. Whereas the way he had it, he wasn't really going to be compensated. You know what I'm saying? I was like, but we always do things to just look out for everybody, and we a lot of times forget about ourselves, right? Our own well-being or what have you. So
right. I was just basically just taking like a 10% deposit versus a 50% deposit when, you know what I'm saying, when in actuality, the 50% is probably what I should get.
Yeah, you sure.
I mean, it bees like that sometimes.
No, it don't.
Well, not anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Yeah, as of 36 hours ago, not no more.
No word.
So, final thoughts.
Hold on, I gotta talk to my baby. Y'all hold it down,
bro.
You know what I'm saying? On that note,
you can just pause or tell. I guarantee whatever you and me talk about is not that important. I guarantee you.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't got nothing hella pressing and important. I think that, while Chief handles his business, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you for once again tapping in with us. You know what I'm saying?
We're not ending the episode, Prentice. I was just joking.
Oh, okay. All right, never mind.
Never mind. So we quick segue into what we want to talk about today.
Oh my gosh, yo.
Quick segue into what.
Like, thank y'all for coming out. God bless you. Good night.
Word.
So I'll preface this by saying this is probably going to be a controversial topic. if I had to guess.
We probably gonna need another episode on this because we've already been like probably like a half hour in right now. So we probably
that's fine.
all right.
So I was watching listening to the Pivot podcast with Ryan Clark, Fred Taylor, and Channing
Somebody
Crowder,
tell
right?
them brothers to come holler at us, B. Word up. We support them. They gotta come support
We
us.
should probably highlight them considering they're the big name. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
But anyway, and they had Amari Hardwick on as a guest, who, if you haven't heard Amari Hardwick is Ghost from Power, or Ghost from Power is Amari Hardwick. But if you haven't heard him speak or give it like a long interview, I highly recommend it. That was the first long interview I've watched with him. Very, very, very sharp, intelligent, deep brother. Very deep brother. You know, like he got deep off the bat. And I love those types, that level of conversation, like the introspective conversation. So anyway, a very good interview, highly suggested. In that, as a lot of you know or may know, he has a white wife, and the fellas asked them, you know, basically how much flack did he take from that. And he has such a great perspective, man, and I respect him a lot for the courage, right? Because as Black men, that's something that we constantly hear, right? When Black men become successful, you date a white woman, you marry a white woman, so on and so forth. I mean, I'll go as far as saying, and my mom will probably deny this to this day, but my mom told me when I was in like middle school, if I marry a white woman, she ain't coming to my wedding. You know what I'm saying? So this shit is like deeply ingrained in Black culture. Anyway, what he said was, and I don't want to butcher it, but I'm a paraphrase. He said something to the effect of, you know, it's like he's like, we as people, we always feel like we bringing by us bringing somebody in, it's making it bad for the rest of us. He is like, well, what if it's making it great for me? You know? And that was his take on it. He's like, look, my wife makes me better. My wife makes me great, right? Like, I'm not concerned about the optics. I'm not concerned about, you know, how you feel about it. I'm concerned about what's best for me, you know? And again, he went into the greater detail. I'm just paraphrasing, but I thought it took courage, right? Because we know we're some humans, we're some judgmental creatures, right? And mean creatures. And it just made me think about it. I'm like, wow, I don't know that, and I'll be honest, I don't know that I would have his courage, right? And they've been together since high school. At least that's what it sounded like. He said he went to her cafeteria table, so I'm imagining it's high school or college. So, and he's 48, so they've been together for the majority of his life. And he's from the deep South, like, you know, Georgia. He's from Georgia. So anyway, I thought I would bring this up, man, because it's something that I even told my girlfriend in college, and she can attest to it, that I'm like, yo, based on my girlfriend in college is white. I'm like, based on what my mom told me when I was little, this is probably just gonna be a college relationship. Nah, no bullshit. I told her that. And I just couldn't see myself marrying a white woman. But again, that's a learned behavior, right? My dad's from Jim Crow South. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't grow up in the North. Well, my mom did, but my dad didn't grow up in the North like I did. You know what I'm saying? So he had an impression of white people. Again, learned behaviors based on his environment. And he influenced my impression. Both my parents influenced my impression of white people. Right now, obviously, I'm an adult now and I can make my own decisions, but it doesn't mean that those conversations don't last and don't land and don't stay with you for a period of time until you can get old enough to make your own decisions. So anyway,
I'll say this. I have 2 children by a white woman, and she's a great mom to my boys, does well for them. But I distinctly remember, and I can't give you the specifics of what it was, but I distinctly remember having several conversations with her about, no, you shouldn't do that, or try this approach because those are little black boys. Regardless of how, you see them and you being their mom, like the society's going to see them as little black boys. And she's had responses like, oh, wow, I never thought about it like that. I never looked at it like that. And it opened my eyes to the oblivion that some white people live in when it comes to black people. And it's, and again, obviously she, huh? What do you say, P? He froze, but she has children.
It's not even only white.
Oh, right. Not even only white people. You're right. But in this, right. Okay, we'll get there in a second. But in this particular regard, like I just remember being like, there's such a disconnect in terms of their apprehension or their understanding of our culture and certain things that comes with being black. And again, to no fault of her own, like, I mean, she obviously doesn't know because she's never been there, but
to no fault of her own, for real.
Yeah, I mean, white people ain't out. They ain't out there studying the black culture and the black man and trying to learn about the ways.
That don't mean that they can't. That don't mean they can't.
Right. So I mean, right. So I've encouraged these conversations in that approach. And granted, she's learned a lot, but I mean, this in terms, like, I can't give you a specific example. But I remember having a conversation like, yo, like this, like, regardless of what's going on, these are little black boys and we got to raise them as such.
Yeah. And also something to be said, people can do all the history lessons that they want, but they still haven't walked a day in your shoes. You know what I'm saying? And I've given this example before, but my wife's Puerto Rican, but she looks to the untrained eye like she's white. She's very fair skinned. And I got pulled over one night. You know what I'm saying? And I know how to talk to these police officers when they pull me over. I know how to move when they pull me over. I know how to do everything to make sure that I get home. She was seeing how I was being treated, and she's an attorney. So she saw how I was being treated. So she was kind of barking at the cop. And she didn't know that she was putting my life in danger by doing that. Right? She was standing up for me because of what she knew to be right. But I'm like, this not where you win. You don't win right here on the street. This ain't where you win. This is a lose-lose situation. I said, we gotta take whatever tongue lashing they're giving us and just get the fuck on. Right. But she didn't understand that until she experienced it. So, until like some of our white allies can experience what we experience, they may not understand, so I get that.
How do you think does the society view it differently when if the woman is not white but not black? You know what I'm saying? Like your wife being Puerto Rican. Like, is it different?
I mean, we're minorities.
Do we get the same? Do we get the same flack? I'm asking you, right? Do you get the same flack from black women or from whomever regarding being married to a Latina versus being married to a white woman?
I mean, yes and no. I think it'd be worse. I would think I got more flack if I was married to a white woman. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I even on the podcast, I remember somebody commented early on.
I do remember that.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, of course he's married to a Puerto Rican chick or something like that. They said.
Mm-hmm. Or of course his wife is not black. I think it was.
Yeah, something like that. Whatever it was, but it's like, I'm not like, listen, my daughter's black. Like, I love black women, right? Like, this is not me seeking out somebody not black. This just happened to be the one I fell in love with, right? And I got married to. Like, it just happened. This is just how it went, right? Like, it's not like I was against dating black women. I've dated black women my whole life. This is just how this worked out. But no, I mean, I don't get, again, like, black and brown people, right? We not the same, but to the untrained eye, we the same. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think because of that, because she's a minority, I don't get as much flack. I don't know why, but I just don't. That's my answer.
How about PP? You got a Tahir, right? His mom is Puerto Rican. and Justice.
Nah,
But
Justice mom is Puerto Rican.
And go ahead.
Justice mom is Puerto Rican. Tahir's mama, she's black, Hawaiian, and Filipino.
Okay.
What's
Yeah,
that?
so I mean, you know, I ain't never got nothing, man. I ain't never had nobody ever
I
say
wonder.
anything.
You know what's interesting, man? I wonder if LA or California, the West Coast. I wonder if I just my perception of the West Coast is just so laid back and it's like so laissez-faire about everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I personally don't feel like when I think of California, I think of like, yeah, man, everything is cool, like no problem, take your time. And then I think of the Northeast, and I think like, fuck you mean you ain't got my money yet? You know what I'm saying? That's how I think about it, man. So I just feel like, and again, I've never lived on the West Coast or nothing like that. I just feel like we just less forgiving. That's a short way to say it.
Possible, man. You know, you can find a mix of so many different type of people out here. So I think that's another thing too. You know what I mean? Out here, it ain't uncommon at all to see diverse, multiracial children and relationships. Just grow up in it.
I don't think it's uncommon. I think it's just in certain areas it's just frowned upon. Like they see it. It's not uncommon. It's there. It's prevalent.
No. I'm saying here it's very common. Like that's what we grow up in. We grow up seeing that.
Yeah. And
so you've never experienced that growing up? Like it was never you never heard the chatter in the background or seen it going down on the streets where that happens?
Well, my life was different because I grew up in a Mexican household as the only black kid. Speaking Spanish and shit. So I was an oddity within a minority community. I was a minority within a minority. You know what I'm saying? So my life was different. I don't know. I never looked.
It's everybody's experience. Yeah. It's definitely different.
I was a black kid who could speak a little Spanish, and people tripped out about that shit.
They still tripping.
You know what I'm saying? Like how the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah, they be tripping out about Chief with that shit till they realize that he's Spanish. And they're like, oh, you tricked us.
Nigga Panther for black.
I'm black.
Exactly.
Two black men and a Dominican.
I'm black.
I'm Dominican, baby.
All black men need therapy. Dominican niggas too.
I'm black, B. You're not doing it. Listen. No, honestly,
but you could pass for some other shit. You could. Easy.
Prentice,
you were like,
Prentice,
hey, I've been lying to you.
Prentice. Huh. He is some other shit. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, don't let him sit up here and tell you that he black, man.
Shit. This is born in Honduras.
I mean, yeah, my man Latinx, man.
Oh shit. This is great.
Yeah, I feel like we played it safe with this interracial dating shit.
I definitely feel like we played it hella safe. Safe
let's
with this
move
conversation.
Let's move on.
With that being said,
next subject. All right, keep going.
Yeah. Oh man, that's funny.
That is funny, hilarious. So we go go ahead and cut it right now. We're not even gonna go further, bro. We played it safe. We don't want no hate. We don't want no hate mail. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna leave it at that.
Chief single, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Word. All black men need therapy, and I need a lady. So let's go ahead and
he don't discriminate too. So he date Karens.
Nah, we're not doing that.
Kashinas.
Keeping it a bean though, yo. Like in regards to this, I told you before about it. Believe me, I don't believe I can marry a white woman.
Yo, this is what
I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed to it.
So,
but
this is what I was gonna say.
I don't know if I can do it. Just because of the experiences I've had with my son's mom. Like I don't know if like she's got to be. I don't know. It's got to be one of them type like situation where like, you know what I mean? It's just all the intangibles fall in line. So that's being real.
The irony in that is, Chief, you have one of the most diverse families that I've growing up that I had ever seen. You know what I'm saying? Like going to your cookouts, like all your uncles date other people other than black. You know what I'm saying? And like there was a lot of your mom, chief stepfather is French Canadian, y'all. So like
My mother's husband is French Canadian.
so anyway, like growing up, I would see all these different.
Is that daddy issues right there? Like I refuse to let people call him my stepfather. Like that's my mom's husband. And ain't it
your daddy.
father-in-law anyway? Ain't it a father-in-law? Same thing? Stepdaddy,
You
father-in-law.
called Pop?
Fuck out of here, P.
What do you mean father-in-law?
That's not even fucking funny, nigga.
You know he ain't got no father. Prentice, stop, man.
Oh shit, I forgot.
Yo, I hate y'all niggas. I swear.
Yo, what you mean father-in-law?
That's what my mother's husband called, right? Father-in-law, no?
Yo, I'm gonna slap you, yo. You sound crazy. No, your father-in-law will be the husband. The father of your wife.
The wife. Okay, yeah, got that. So it makes him a nigga.
Makes him your stepfather.
Makes him your stepfather. Nigga. Shout out to Eve though. He taught me how to change the car mirror today on the whip.
Wish life had training wheels. They did it, so Eve's built me some.
Shout out after they're like, fuck him.
Nah, I ain't say fuck him. He's a good dude. He's a real good dude. Take care of my mom. I don't know how he put up with my mom, but he's a real good cat.
That might be the longest relationship Peaches had, right? With Eve's.
Yeah, they're going on 20. Probably. I think they did a dub. Right? Yeah, they did a dub for sure.
Yeah, man, that man earned that stepfather title. But I don't know.
Slap the shit out you and Eve. How about that? My mom gonna see that she gonna show him.
You need to show some respect, but
fuck out of here.
Our listeners, man, Chief's mom been with her husband for almost 20 years. Do you think he's earned the stepfather title? Should Chief call him stepdad? Hey, this is my stepfather. That's all I want to know.
That's a great ass point.
Yo, something's wrong with y'all, B.
No, I think that's valid though.
Y'all stay trying to join up and come at me, and I'm not feeling it.
Do y'all hug?
Are you mad at us or are you mad at your dad?
Do y'all hug? That's the question.
Do we hug? Nah.
Why not, man? That man, like you said, man, yo, Eves is a
20 years.
He is a great dude.
Joe. My man,
so why do you don't hug him?
I never had a reason to.
Now you got a reason.
What you mean? You just said he take care of your mom.
He hold her down. You hug the nigga then.
I'll gladly give Eves a hug. I ain't got no problem.
I will too, but and he didn't raise me for 20 years.
Yeah, he
didn't raise me either. Nigga, I was 22 when I met him. What you talking about?
Man,
but 20 years, that's raising you, bro.
Eves helped you become the man you are today, bro.
Yo, I'm about to just log off. Y'all can end the podcast on your own. But if I log off, it's over for both of y'all.
The way you was feeding into that was great.
Shut up.
So yeah. So long story short, man, tell Eves thank you for being.
Word. I'll say thank you. Thank you to Eve for holding my mom down. AOP. I know your bachelor party is the weekend of the 30th or whatever. You think I can get you to Connecticut the weekend before?
Wait, when's the bachelor party? Where is the bachelor party?
You missed the whole conversation. Like, you weren't even listening, bro.
Listening to what?
You said it earlier. Like you weren't even listening, cuz.
The bachelor party? He mentioned that on the podcast.
I seen you the info, but we're gonna be
No, he didn't.
That's why he asked you for your address,
in the beginning.
Then maybe he got cut out. I thought he was asking me my address.
Nah,
for the wedding.
For the wedding part.
Yeah, see? So shut up, Chief.
But I'll give you the info. So it's on the we're gonna have it in the 30th and we're gonna be out in Arizona. This shit about to be crazy.
Sorry to lie to you, Martin. Still want to go to Arizona.
Oh, I came in late because that's when I came in. That's what you said.
Yeah.
Y'all must have already been talking. 30th of what?
September.
Oh, we're gonna be traveling in September.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Make that happen.
Nah, y'all got it. Hey, we'll talk offline.
Yeah.
Anyways, close it up. P, final thought.
Do what the fuck you want as far as love is concerned, man. I don't even remember everything we talked about. I'm gonna keep it real. So I would say do what the fuck you want when it comes to love, man. That's the only way you're gonna really find yourself and find who's meant for you. That's my final thought.
I just thought about it. Just everything we talked about ties back into triggers and boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Like we started off talking about triggers and boundaries, and even the love life piece, right? Like create boundaries where you don't even give people space to influence you and your decisions on who you love or who you want to love. You know, so Yeah, that's my final thought, man. Don't be afraid to create boundaries. The people closest to you are probably the ones who need them the most.
Good point. I think I'm gonna go with stand firm in your emotions. And sometimes you gotta, pee. And the wedding day, sometimes you gotta cry. Like I was overwhelmed that day, and I sat in my car and just let it out. Like just I was caught in the middle of it. And then I think as much as you say standing firm in your emotions, share it, I guess, in some cases. Because P, you were vulnerable about how, worried about breaking down at the wedding or whatever. And I'm, sharing, I'm sitting in front of my daughter's school crying. I think having these conversations, that's not typical conversations you have with your boys. You know what I'm saying we talking about something completely different. But so stand firm in your emotions and don't be ashamed or afraid to expose that to your homies. And those who don't, or who mock you for it or tease you for it or whatever, and then maybe you might want to reevaluate how close to your circle you allow them. I don't know, but that's what I'm going with. Cool. We're gonna wrap this, y'all. Hit us up at all social media outlets at All Black Men Need Therapy.
Also, subscribe to our YouTube page.
We haven't, we haven't said that. I don't think we've said that. Like, I don't know. Have we ever been like, yo, subscribe, like, and share? Like, I don't think we just kind of been rolling.
Like we probably need to kick into gear about like we really. My point is we really use this as therapy for us, right? And sometimes we forget about the bigger impact, the bigger opportunity, even with certain things. Like there's people in our DMs trying to get us to do stuff, and we just be like, when we recording next, like it's not like we
you laugh, we laugh because Bell, that is spot on.
Like, and it's
we'll share the email and be like, yeah, so
and be hella grateful, hella appreciative. Yeah. Like that's fucking dope.
What we talking about tomorrow?
It's like, and we got to get better with that. But like I think that's how this podcast comes from a true place. Like we wasn't. I mean, obviously, if we can monetize it, that would be great, right? But that wasn't the catalyst. So that's why a lot of times people be hitting us to do things, and which we're greatly appreciative, right? But it's just like not top of mind because that's, for lack of a better phrase, like that's not what we came here to do. Right now, we understand that because of the success and our genuine conversations, it's afforded us opportunities, which we're grateful for. And I say that to say we will start capitalizing on them. Just bear with us. But yeah, subscribe, like, share, tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yeah, email us allblackmenneedtherapy@gmail.com. And per usual, y'all, do us a favor. Hug a black man today.
Hey, yo, when I be saying do it, yo, I need y'all to know this shit. I really mean do it. So if you listening to this all the time and you get to this point and I say do it, really find a black man and do it. I know COVID is, so be careful, but really do that shit. So do it.
And to hug a black man today.
Listen.
And tomorrow, y'all.
Do it. He fucked the first one up.
We out, y'all. Peace.
I say.